Hello and welcome back. This is Unit 2, Textbook. If you don't have the textbook yet, it is okay. You can follow along on the screen. もしまだ教科書が持ってないんだったら全然大丈夫。私のスクリーン見て一緒にやりましょう。Let's do it together. Okay? Let's start. Unit 2, What do you do? Pages 10 to 15. First, let's talk about different kinds of jobs. What jobs begin with the letters S, M, A, R, or T? どの仕事はこの名字から始まる? For example, T, teacher. Can you think of 2 jobs for every letter? S 始まるの2つ、M 始まる2つ、A 2つ、R 2つ、T 2つの仕事、考えてください。今、パウズやって、紙で書いても大丈夫です。You can pause the video and write your answers on a piece of paper. When you're finished writing, let's look at some examples. For example, S, singer, songwriter, salesman, salaryman. M, model, mechanic. Mechanic is a person who fixes cars. A, actor, architect. Architect is someone who designs buildings. Astronaut, go to the moon, astronaut, athlete. R, race car driver. I only have one. Do you have a different word? T, teacher, taxi driver. I hope you got more words than I did. Now, let's look at page 10 in your textbook, or the screen if you don't have a textbook. On the screen, there are 10 pictures of different types of jobs, and there are 10 words to match. But first, please repeat after me. A, architect, architect. Singer, singer. Doctor, doctor. Musician, musician. Chef, chef. Pilot, pilot. Actor, actor. Teacher, teacher. Police officer, police officer. Writer, writer. Okay, so please try to match the word with the picture. For example, number 1, Sandy, she is F. She is a pilot. Please try to find Emmy's all the way down to Lenny's jobs. Please match the letter to the picture. Okay, so let's check the answers. Sandy is a pilot, F. Emmy is a doctor. Laura is an architect. Jose is a teacher. Robert is a writer. How about Becky? Becky is a singer. Brian is a musician. Linda is an actor. Lisa is a police officer. And Lenny is a chef. So please check your answers. How did you do? Okay, I have a question. Where does a doctor work? どこで働いてる? Where does a doctor work? A doctor works in a hospital. So I have a few more questions. Your answer, theater, hospital, school, restaurant, office, or airport. So please answer like this. A doctor works in a hospital. A nani works in a doko. Okay, so let's try. Where does a teacher work? A teacher works in a school. That's right. Okay, next one. Where does an actor work? An actor works in a theater. Where does a chef work? A chef works in a restaurant. Okay, last one. Where does a pilot work? A pilot works in an airport. Great job. So, can you tell about your friends? For example, my friend Akiko is a doctor. Where does she work? She works in a hospital in Osaka. I'll go first. I will talk about my friend. Please ask me, where does she work? はい、私がとりあえず説明して、質問聞いてください。Ready? My friend Chris is a teacher. She works in a school in Saitama. My friend Kazu is a welder. He works in a factory in Hikone. Now, your turn. Please start with my friend. I will ask you. Ready? Where does he or she work? Okay, we will practice that more in class when we get back to school. Now, let's look at the picture. There are two people, a lady and a man. What does she do? What does he do? What does she do? 彼女は何しますか？仕事のことですね。What does he do? 彼は何しますか？仕事のことですね。何と思いますか？What do you think? Me, I think she is a doctor. I think he is a sports trainer. How about you? What do you think? あなたはどうと思いますか？ So let's listen and find out.
So, where do you live?
Well, I'm from New York, but I live in Chicago.
Interesting. And what do you do?
I'm an English teacher. What about you?
I'm a doctor. I work in a hospital
Oh, sorry about
in
that.
Seattle.
Really? My sister lives in Seattle.
What does she do?
She's a singer.
And what's her name?
Susie Davis?
Susie. I know her.
Really? Small world.
So, where do you live?
Well, I'm from New York, but I live in Chicago.
Interesting. And what do you do?
I'm an English teacher. What about you?
I'm a doctor. I work in a hospital in Seattle.
Really? My sister lives in Seattle.
What does she do?
She's a singer.
And what's her name?
Susie Davis?
Susie. I know her.
Really? Small world.
Okay, so did you catch it? What does she do? That's right. She is a teacher. And what does he do? He is a doctor. So please watch the video again to fill in the blank. We have a few choices: English teacher, singer, and Chicago. So please try to fill in the blanks.
So, where do you live?
Well, I'm from New York, but I live in Chicago.
Interesting. And what do you do?
I'm an English teacher. What about you?
I'm a doctor. I work in a hospital in Seattle.
Really? My sister lives in Seattle.
What does she do?
She's a singer.
And what's her name?
Susie Davis?
Susie. I know her.
Really? Small world.
Okay, so did you catch it? Let's practice. Let's see. So, where do you live? どこに住みますか? Well, I'm from New York, but I live in Chicago. That's right. 出身はニューヨークけど、今はシカゴに住んでいます。Interesting. 面白い。And what do you do? 何しますか? I'm an English teacher. An この N はあいうえおの発音で始まるの前に N が必要ですね。An English teacher. What about you? あんたは何しますか? I'm a doctor. 医者さんです。I work in a hospital in Seattle. シアトルの中にの病院に働いています。Really? 本当に? My sister lives in Seattle. What does she do? 彼女は何しますか? She's a singer. What's her name? 彼女の名前は何ですか? Susie Davis. Susie? I know her. Susie? 彼女が知ってるよ? Really? 本当に? Small world. So, one time, please repeat after me. Ready? So, where do you live? Well, I'm from New York. But I live in Chicago. Interesting. And what do you do? I'm an English teacher. What about you? I'm a doctor. I work in a hospital in Seattle. Really? My sister lives in Seattle. What does she do? She's a singer. What's her name? Susie Davis. Susie? I know her. Really? Small world. Okay, if you need to practice again, you can go back in the video and rewatch it. もしまだちょっと練習したいんだったらもう一回練習してください。But let's continue. So, we have 3 boxes, green, blue, purple box. Here, we have some different words. Mexico City, architect, writer. So we can try the same sentences, but different words. So this time, please be Brian. I will be Stacy. Ready? Brian, ready, go. Well, I'm from New York, but I live in Mexico City. I'm an architect. What about you? Really? My sister lives in Seattle. She's a writer. Susie Davis. Really? Small world. Okay, now, next one. New words. Tokyo, actor, police officer. This time, I will be Brian. Please be Stacy. Ready? So, where do you live? Interesting. And what do you do? I'm a doctor. I work in a hospital in Seattle. What does she do? What's her name? Susie? I know her. Okay, good job. If you want to practice one more time, you can write an original sentence. So here, city name. Here, job name. この仕事は、あいうえおから始まるの。Architect, actor, English teacher, engineer, そのような。Writer, police officer, one other job. Please write original, 3, to fill in the blank. Let's try again with your original answers. Ready? So, where do you live? Interesting. And what do you do? I'm a doctor. I work in a hospital in Seattle. What does she do? What's her name? Susie? I know her. Okay, good job. So let's continue. We have some questions and answers to practice the grammar. This is on page 12 in your textbook or on your screen here. So we have 4 questions. What do you do? Where do you live? What does your sister do? Where do your friends go to school? We have 4 questions. We have 4 answers. She's an architect. I'm an office worker. In Sao Paulo. They go to the University of Texas. So please match. For example, what do you do? B. I'm an office worker. So 10 seconds, please match the questions and the answers. 質問と答えマッチしてください。Okay, so number 1. What do you do? I'm an office worker. Number 2. Where do you live? Answer C. In Sao Paulo. What does your sister do? A. She's an architect. Number 4. Where do your friends go to school? They go to the University, Daigaku, of Texas. Good. Now, complete the conversations. Please try to fill in the blanks to make questions and answers. 答え見て、それからどの質問が聞いているちょっと考えて、質問作って答えも作ってください。You have 10 seconds. If you need more time, you can pause and continue later. Okay, if you are not finished, you can pause and catch up later. But we will check the answers now. まだ終わってない人がパーズやって、その後で進みます。Okay, number 1. Where do you live? I live in Los Angeles. Los Angeles was city name. So where do you live? I live in Los Angeles. What do you do? I am an actor. I'm an actor. Number 2. Where? Your sister. 彼女。一人の場合は does. Where does your sister live? She lives in Seoul. What does she do? She is a teacher. Okay, good job. Now, how about you? Where do you live? What do you do? Where do you go to school? Where do you work? My answers. Where do you live? I live in Hikone. I live in Hikone. What do you do? I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. Where do you go to school? I go to Shiga Gakuen. I go to Shiga Gakuen. Where do you work? I work at Shiga Gakuen. I work at Shiga Gakuen. Work の場合、パートがアルバイトをやっている生徒さんはここにその場所の名前書いても大丈夫か？仕事がないの場合が I don't work でも大丈夫。I don't work. 自分で書いてください。Okay, you can pause the video now, or if you are ready, I will ask you the questions and you can answer. まだ終わってない人がパーズやっても大丈夫。終わっている人がこのまま進みます。Okay, number 1. Please answer. Please say your answer. 自分で言ってね。Number 1. Where do you live? Number 2. What do you do? Number 3. Where do you go to school? Number 4. Where do you work? Okay, good job. Now, there are 2 ways to say these sentences. There is the clean pronunciation that teachers use in class and natural. Clean, unreduced. What do you do? What do you study? Where do you live? Where do you go? それはすごく綺麗な発音けど、普通のネイティブがこのように What do you do? What do you do? What do you study? What do you study? Where do you live? Where do you live? Where do you go? Where do you go? それでもうちょっと早く話するできるから、まあちょっと綺麗じゃない英語けど、その発音もあります。You can try it again. I will ask you these questions and you can answer. Where do you live? What do you do? Where do you go to school? Where do you work? Okay, let's stop there for a break and we will open up the next video for page 13. Thank you. See you again soon.